How's it going, everybody? It's Brock with the House of the Strong, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about how can we grow the sport, and is World's Strongest Man really inclusive of everybody? So, over the weekend, there was a post that was made on a Facebook page talking about, is World's Strongest Man actually inclusive of everyone? And by inclusive, they mean weight classes and strong women. If you've been around the world of strongman for a while, then you understand that World's Strongest Man is pretty exclusive in the fact that it's searching for the world's strongest man. That has been its goal since 1977, when World's Strongest Man was first formed and first performed. So, for that long, we've been trying to figure out who is the world's strongest man. Since then, we have grown, and not only do we have World's Strongest Man, but we also have strong women, and then we also want to include weight classes as well. Strongman has been construed in the past decade with winners such as Adrianus Viscus, Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, and Hathor Bjornsson, all of whom are well over 6'2" and well over 400 pounds. But when you really look at the average size of the World's Strongest Man winner since 1977, the average size tends to be around 6'2" to 6'4" and about 300 pounds. If you look at our most current World's Strongest Man, Oleksiy Novikov, he is 6'3", I believe, and he is right at 300 pounds. So he's not the size that we've been accustomed to seeing with, say, Zydrunas, Brian, Eddie, or Thor. And then you look at Martins Licis, same situation. He's about 330 pounds, though. So the world's strongest man doesn't necessarily mean the world's largest man. And that has been confused, and I think maybe not even confused, but has been misconstrued in the world of strongmen because that's what we've seen most recently. So the comments that were made this weekend were essentially saying that they should get rid of the open class of World's Strongest Man, and World's Strongest Man should be a bunch of different weight classes. Now, with the open becoming the super heavyweight division. Now, I'm not opposed to weight classes in strongmen and strong women. I think they should be there. It will definitely help grow the sport, and I think it'll definitely help, bring in more people. But people like to see the big guys lift the big weights. It comes down to like bodybuilding. Although there are multiple different weight classes in bodybuilding, and they have classic, and they have the one where they wear the board shorts. I can't remember what it's called. Physique, I think, or something like that. But people are still wanting to see the mass monsters. They want to see people, if you remember Dorian Yates, who pushed the sport to a new level. You look at Ronnie Coleman, who pushed it even further. You have Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, Brandon Curry, and all these guys are huge. And now they're not as big as our strongmen, of course, but they are very, very large, and by far they are the most popular in the sport of bodybuilding. Now, personally, I do like the classic physique. Chris Bumstead, the most recent winner of the classic physique look, I think looks great. I think that's what looks best. But I still like to watch the open class bodybuilders. I still like to see those mass monsters. So, that doesn't mean I want the open to go away. What the comment that was made was that the open should be gone away from and instead made into a weight class that has limitations. It's often been referenced, you have powerlifting, which has weight classes, Olympic weightlifting has weight classes, and it is true, they do have weight classes. But when those were formed as official federations, which strongman does not have, they initiated with weight classes, and that's been their goal the entire time, is to have a weight class and who is the strongest at that weight class. Since the inception of strongman in 1977, it's always just been who is the strongest man. It isn't by weight class, it isn't male or female, it's who is the strongest man. And since then, we have become more diverse, which I think is a great thing. But at the end of the day, the main mission of World's Strongest Man is to find the world's strongest man, and it doesn't matter what size you are. They don't care about that. They care, can you lift the most weight in said event for said distance or for said reps, and that's the only thing that they care about. And frankly, that's the only thing that most fans are going to care about. We want to see who the strongest is. That doesn't mean that we don't want weight classes, and that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have weight classes or females in the sport. Now, we're speaking mainly about World's Strongest Man. That was the topic that was brought up, and that was the event that they referenced was World's Strongest Man, and that's probably the most recognizable besides the Arnold Strongman Classic. You also have the World's Ultimate Strongman, which is up and coming. You've had the SCL, the Strongman Champions League, around for a while. You have Giants Live. Those are more internationally well-known, vice here in the U.S. I think in order for World's Strongest Man to progress, and I really think this is what they really wanted to prove or to point out, is that the progression of strongman is not growing the way that it should be. And the main reason is World's Strongest Man is still kind of caught a couple decades ago in TV production, to be honest. Right now, we have made such advancements in production of TV shows and production of news and really anything, is that most consumers, we want it now. We don't want it 6 months from now. Especially with social media, we're going to know who won or how the competition went well before it ever airs. And now it's tradition in the UK that World's Strongest Man airs around Christmas time. Now, I'm not British, I'm an American, so, I can't really speak on the tradition side of things and whether or not it would have a large impact on the British population if they did decide to do a live stream. But I think in order for the sport to grow, a live stream or a production that takes less than a week to put out an official product is what is needed to grow the sport further. You look at World's Ultimate Strongman, they're doing their Strength Island on the 27th of February. It's in one day. It's 5 events, and they have close to 20 competitors, I believe. So it is completely possible to put on a strongman show of that caliber in 1 day or 2 days. That, I believe, is the format that World's Strongest Man needs to go to. There's a lot of TV production that goes into it, and honestly, they're just using outdated techniques, and that's the only thing I can really think of, and I don't understand why they haven't moved on to more efficient ways, especially considering that World's Ultimate Strongman's already doing that. I believe the Arnold Strongman Classic's also been live streamed to an extent or is readily available soon after. So there are behind the times in terms of other large strongman contests. Now, once World's Strongest Man once they fix that issue, now we can open up the possibility, okay, so we still have World's Strongest Man. Let's say it takes place in Bradenton, Florida, which has been there for the past 2 years. Now what we do is we bring in the other weight classes the same week. So if World's Strongest Man can condense it down to 2 days, so it'd be like a Saturday, Sunday type of event, and then you would say, let's say the heavyweight men and women on Thursday, Friday, and then you have the middleweight Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. You have middleweight plus lightweight, however you decided to do it, but you include the other weight classes and strong women in the same week. And it culminates with the open class, right, at the end of the week, and it crowns the World's Strongest Man. And you could still have World's Strongest Man 80 kilograms, under 80 kilograms, under 90 kilograms. You still have World's Strongest Woman underneath 90 kilograms, 80 kilograms, or however many weight classes that we decide to have or that they decide to have. I think there definitely needs to be more weight classes because there is a large gap in some of those weight classes. That needs to be worked with as well. But that's a different topic. So that would be a great way to put that all together. Arnold Strongman Classic is kind of doing that by having the pro strong women show up. But it could be better. It could be ran a lot better. There's always an opportunity for everything to be ran better. And this is one of those things that could be done better. And I think that in order for us to even get to that point, specifically for World's Strongest Man, they have to change how they do the show, how they produce the show, because currently how they do it is just not working. Now, this doesn't have to be specifically just for World's Strongest Man. This could be for World's Ultimate Strongman. This could be for the Arnold Strongman Classic. It could be for Strongman Champions League. It could work with pretty much any type of strongman event or organization that is willing to put money into it. The biggest problem at the moment is that there's not money inside of the weight classes or strong women. But in order to make money, you must spend money. If people don't know about the events or don't know about the athletes, how are they supposed to make more money? If you don't advertise, if you don't put it out there that this is going on or this is happening, then people aren't going to show up. So definitely on the more advertising side and more on the publicity side of things, that there's some things that need to change in order to promote these other weight classes and strong women. And right now, currently, none of the, I would say, large organizations or competitions are doing that, and they're only promoting the open. Well, all they offer is the open to begin with. But if once they do starting offering weight classes and strong women, now, they have to promote it just like they would promote the regular open class strongest man. So to wrap everything up, all I'm trying to say is that, yes, that strongman right now, it is inclusive, but it's not inclusive on the scale that it could be or that it even should be. Strongman definitely has a long way to go. There's some things that we can do to make it better going forward, but right now, it's just simply not the way it is. Everybody's looking to see who is the world's strongest man, not pound for pound, not by weight class or anything like that. They want to see the biggest and the best, not, per weight class at the moment for world's strongest man. I definitely think that in the future we can definitely have weight classes, but getting rid of the open class, I don't think is the way forward. Really, the biggest challenge moving forward is to get some of these larger organizations to come together and personally, I think, create a federation that lays down a foundation of rules and guidelines for certain events, how they're ran, what world records are, and all that information. And then we can also move and transition into weight classes and strong women and how they're represented, how they are produced, how they are advertised. I think that's probably one of the largest things that's holding us back is by not having a federation, which I made a video about that. You can check that out and see why I think there should be a federation involved. To move the sport forward, I believe a federation needs to be in place, and it would help with some of these issues that we are seeing. All right, so that's just my take on how World's Strongest Man is inclusive and how it could be more inclusive for the weight classes and for strong women. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a blessed week. Let me know down below what you think of this episode and how you think World's Strongest Man could do better and be better. Go out there and be strong, and we'll check you guys later.